Hi everyone, it's been a while since I've done one of these, but now we're going to review Pikmin 2. Yes, I finished Pikmin 2 a few weeks ago, like 3 weeks ago probably, and it's been just taking me a while to actually sit down and record this, but with how people responded to my Pikmin 1 review, I thought I might as well cover 2 as well, and just kind of, I'm just kind of covering games as I'm playing them, but Pikmin 2 is another kind of checkpoint in life game for me because it's a game I played quite a bit of as a kid but never finished. So, having bought Pikmin 1 plus 2 about a year ago now, like maybe just over, I decided to just sit down and actually play it all the way through and actually complete it. And I did, and just as I thought when I was younger, I think it's better than Pikmin 1, and I think most people probably agree. I mean, it seems the most disagreement over which one's the definitive, game, whichever one's definitely better or whatever, comes down to people's care or their kinship towards the story elements. And even that, I think Pikmin 2 far exceeds it. Now, I gotta say, by the time I got to the post game, I was starting to get worn out and being like, okay, that's enough. I don't know. I think it took me 10 hours or something to get to that point. But, I did complete it. And obviously, my favorite part, like most people's, are the dungeons. I found the caves to just be so much fun. Now, I think the biggest improvement that made this feel way better for me is that the AI is so much better in Pikmin 2 than it is in Pikmin 1. It feels like it's so much easier to control the Pikmin in large groups. The mechanic of having two captains to kind of organize on, opposite sides of the playing field or however you want to go about doing it makes the game so much more dynamic and fun and keeps you invested because now you're not in this place where you're sending Pikmin to tear down a wall or whatever, and now you're just waiting because it would take too much time to go back and set other Pikmin to do another thing while they're doing that. So by the time you get back, it feels like you've wasted time, yada yada yada. And obviously all the Easter eggs and stuff with all the items you can find are a lot of fun, but really at the end of the day, the core Pikmin experience is what ends up being the driving force that makes you come back to it because it's just fun to play, which I can't say for Pikmin 1 because I feel like one of the huge improvements is that the maps feel much wider. Like the actual locations you're traversing, you have a lot more space to do things, and I think that is such a major leap because it makes it feel easier to control these 100 beans that are following you because they're not following you in a straight line, they're following you in these large groups. So actually just being able to go places and feel like you're not constantly distracted by like, oh great, did like 10 Pikmin fall off the ledge here? Not being distracted by that feels so much better, and you can just kind of enjoy the experience of exploring more because now exploring isn't even remotely as much of a pain as it was in the first game. Now, did I absolutely love the game? I wouldn't go that far, but did I like it? Did I enjoy it? Yes, and I would say this is like clearly better than Pikmin 1, to me at least, to me. And in so many of these games that are predicated on like treasure hunting and stuff, it can end up feeling like a chore to actually do that part of the game, which, is unfortunate for many games because that is the main component to it, and that is a huge component to Pikmin 2. But, however, I still just absolutely love looking for all of them. I love being in the caves and just spending all the time I need to get every single thing. Obviously the greatest choice in the world was when you enter a cave, the time just doesn't pass essentially. I don't know, maybe it passes like a sixth of the time or something like that, I'm not quite sure. But at the end of the day, it's not going to drain a day from you, and you can get so much more done, which I feel like was like simultaneously a great positive and a great deficit of the first game is how constricting the time limit felt, because I think it drove many people to repeat days and stuff, and obviously they put that in there for a purpose because they anticipate people are going to want to do that. However, it does drive this split in perception of the game, of the first game, in terms of the time limit structure it had, that it ended up, getting repurposed and done better in Pikmin 3, but that's besides the point. The much more leisurely pace of Pikmin 2 is honestly just what I like better, and I do understand that really does just come down to opinion. It is just ultimately a bit more casual than the first game was, and I think that's probably what will drive somebody to decide whether they like the first game or the second game better. I do just personally like the relaxed pace of 2 much better, as it allows me while I'm actually exploring all the maps to feel like I just have kind of the time to take things in a bit more, while in Pikmin 1 there is this kind of, underlying rush to doing everything, because it's like you're trying to take in things, but you're also on a very strict time limit and you gotta move. While Pikmin 2, in my opinion, drives a much more natural, organic flow to it that makes the player want to explore the worlds, because there is just so much more to explore. Because even though the caves reuse certain not layouts, but like aesthetic layouts, assets, that's what I'm trying to say. Even though the caves reuse, like, I don't know, 4 or 5 different assets, each one feels like a completely unique experience from the others, and do feel like extensions of the world above them. Anyway, that's about all I have to say for Pikmin 2. I did really enjoy it. I felt more obligated to make this video just because I wanted people to know that I continued and did end up liking a Pikmin game, because Pikmin 1 I wasn't the biggest fan of. I don't know when or if I'll ever get to Pikmin 3, but at least I can say, if I do stop here, that the series did go out on a high note for me.